Good morning, each and every one of yous out there. The time is 11:22 a.m. and 33 seconds. Let the master teachings begin. Class is in for the reprogramming, re-educating, refreshing one's memories. Not a matter of learning, it is just what it is, and it just automatically happens again, because nature naturally correcting, and we just move into where we were from your last life. Life, death, rebirth. Transformation, restoration, and reformation. Now, one nation. Lovely, isn't it? Loving it and living it. Intent, pulse, receptivity, enchanting. The great mass awakening. Unstoppable. Inevitable, irreversible. And unavoidable. Unstoppable. This is why the quantum reflex. It's how it all works. And we're all made up of stardust, and we're all a part of the universe, whether you know it or not. And this is why you've been in a systematic, programs. Have to have a system in place. But it's just a matter of what system is in place, doesn't it? And this is why it's a transformation going into monoculture. Now, it is exactly how it's been said to you. Multiculturalism works if everyone assimilates and mixes in. And this is exactly what the Italians and the Greeks, but you're looking at white Caucasians. Now you got the Arabic races coming in, or cultures coming in, and they don't want to assimilate. They actually, not all, but some, hate us. And why isn't anyone speaking English? It was a must to speak English when you came into Australia. We stop all immigration. We stop it until we can fix up what's happening in our backyard. And this is why Pauline Hanson, and yes, vote One Nation. I'm all for it, because this is what she's actually saying, what the majority is thinking now. Oh, you might have your naysayers and your negativity people out there, like that get up garbage. They maybe stood for something before, but obviously they've been infiltrated too, haven't they? Why would you pull a stupid stunt like they did? They're imbeciles, and then doing moronic acts. Start thinking. You don't sabotage a press conference like that. That is stupidity, and just being immature. And this is what I'm looking at now, 25-year-olds and 35-year-olds now, making the decisions of your elders, your experienced ones in their, 50s up. You cannot make decisions for the experienced ones with the knowledge, and that's just your elders. And that's why Indigenous culture, your Indigenous cultures, had your elders at the top of your food chain, because they knew through life experiences. And this is why you have rebirths. And this is why it's all traceable now through the codes and genetics, through our DNA and the genealogy, the tree of life and Jacob's ladder. And this is why you keep coming back here to get it right. Some do and some don't. And some will be dragged to a completely different reality called hell. Because you've done the wrong thing here. You've got to get it right here. Otherwise, your afterlife, Lucifer. You won't get to go to heaven. But anyway, let's talk about Australia. We're sitting in Australia for Australians. Excuse me. Australia for Australians, and yeah, just keep listening to what Paulette Hanson and myself, and there's others out there too. I know Two Worlds Collide. I think that's a good program. Charlie Ward's trying to get the message out there, and you knew Charlie Kirk was getting the message out there, and he was influencing too many people with the golden truth. It's all about the golden truth and your belief and believing. And you do it the correct way on your spirituality, the golden truth. And this is why I'm here with the Destiny number 11, illuminating the path of righteousness, because we're eliminating the unrighteous. And that would be some, but not all, critters, creatures, monsters and demons within our governments, our Western governments, and right here in Australia. As I said, Australian for Australians. Everybody knows now that it's traced now back to the First Fleet through Mr. Eccleston and Miss Dickinson. And they were on the Alexander Bones, William Bones Eccleston on the Alexander. And have a look what the Alexander bought here, and the Lady Penryn. And look up the ships and the meanings of the ships. Everything has meaning and purpose. Quantum reflex. I sit here before you speaking to you guys and illuminating the path of righteousness, and you've got to tune into my frequencies and you'll know what's going on big time. As I said, you're all in this systematic... It's a program. Even... I can tell you all about Albanese's life straight away. He came here and his father, and then he started saying he was... Italian, to get all the Italians on side so he could get into government. But he started off in Housing Commission with his mother. Don't know what happened to his father. So unfortunately he didn't have that fatherly love, and he didn't come from a father and mother loving parents. And then he went to university where that's where the system starts. He got grabbed by the Young Labour Party. You'll either get roped, R-O-P-E-D, with that lasso, and you get, systemised. Doesn't matter where you go, you're going to get systemised whatever you do in life, whether you go do the bad things and go to jail. That is you get in the system there too. And everything's a system. But he got in the system of Young Labour, the Young Labour Party, which is an organisation. All they are is just programmable management systems. So he would have been brainwashed, and it's the people you hang around with and who you know. You've got to know people across the board. And this is me being in the Royal Australian Navy, knowing many, many, many surnames that they just all blended into who I was anyway, because I already all know these all surnames. And everyone that comes in contact with you, they got a meaning and purpose too. And I'm sure a lot of them will come back now into my life now, as we're sitting here now as the elders. Anyways, back to Albanese. So he went into all that bad labour branching, like branch stacking. I bet you he got there by branch stacking because he was rubbing shoulders. Not what you know, it's who you know, and that should stop too, because that's what happens with your when relations and all that get involved too. What's that word? There's a word for it. You know what I'm talking about. I've seen it all in these clubs like footballers and so forth. Anywhere you work in the old days, a relative couldn't work with you. Just trying to think of that word. Can't. It's invading me at the moment. Brain fog. Anyway, as I said, Pauline Hanson, you're doing a fantastic job out there. Highly recommend One Nation. And if you look at what she said 30 years ago, multiculturalism isn't working because they were coming here and setting up their own little villages. What it was like back home. You come to Australia, well, it's a country of enlightenment for starters. It's a privilege to be here. Obviously, you don't take it as a privilege. Only some, not all. But the ones over, as I said, Bankstown and stuff like that. If we can't go walking over into Bankstown, a white Caucasian, without being harassed, there is something wrong. I've never been. When Maryland's over there at Fairfield, even Auburn, Granville. I used to walk around those parts and nothing worried me. And there was Arabs all around me, but I don't call them Arabs. If you're here, you become Australian. You assimilate with Australia. Nothing to do with what food and that you cook, but you're an Australian. And if you don't want to assimilate and mix in with us, just don't come here. Don't come here. As I say, we're a great nation, country, island. Just mix in with us. And we're pretty open, we're pretty loving. Don't bring all that, as I said, hatred here, and I dislike that word. But don't bring stuff with you. Come over here and start again. And as I said with Albanese, he's just been systemised too. With the Labor organisation, that's all he knows. Poor sod. He doesn't know what fresh soil is. And as I say, once he's come into my frequencies, you're going to know who I truly am. And you want change, here I am. Big transformation through the energies. Through the energy. Energy never changes. It transforms. Well, energy, as I said, stand corrected, energy never stops. It transforms. And transformation. And we're in that transitional transformation stage level phase. We'll do the Egyptian cards first. Because we got perseverance. All about perseverance, isn't it? And resilience. And keep forging ahead. And don't let anyone steer astray. Many people have been steered astray by the devil's temptation. And it's all in your face now. It's all in your face. Yes, I am in your face because you got to face up to the facts. And the best policy, honesty is the best policy. Honesty is the best policy. That's simple. As I said, keep it simple, straight back to the basics. And policies, yes, we say, build up our industry again, our manufacturing, our production, our produce, our agriculture. Look after all the farmers that feed us. We need food to eat in this vessel or vassal that we're in. Water is a prestige thing to have. Water's another thing. If we're made up over 90% of water, as we've been told by the scientists, and as I say, go with scientific facts, with the genetics. Biology and the genealogy. It's in your genes. It's in your genes. And I was told this, or informed this years and years ago. And we used to just have fun with it, when you put on the blue Levi's, Oh, it's all in your genes. But you got to have a sense of humour. Have a sense of humour, because when you laugh, the whole world laughs with you. And they say laughter is the best medicine. A lot to do with your health. Alchemical force. Alchemy. Illuminating the path of righteousness as the messenger of our Creator. It's a gift with me master number 11. The visionary. The visionary and the messenger. Frequencies. Tune in. Use your tuning fork. As I say, naysayers and negative ones out there, don't give a hoot about you guys, because you're just still trying to spread darkness out there. These have failed. And multiculturalism has failed only because the people chose not to assimilate with the culture already there. And this is what happens. Other cultures come in, as I said, with ancient civilizations. And why would you want to crush the white Caucasian, Anglo-Saxons, and just a different colour? It doesn't matter, because spiritually we're all the same. We're all the same. As I said, you've got to have crystallization with clarity and coherence and wipe out this racism, which they created. The evilness created racism to divide us. This is what they do all the time. They try and divide you, and also supply and demand with the houses. So let's bring in more immigration, build less houses. So the demand goes up, and this is what's pushed house prices up. And not only that, the new wealth order is buying and snapping up all the houses because they got millions and trillions of dollars, and $1 to them is like $1 million, and $1 million to us, well, you get the picture, don't you? Working all your life, and if you're lucky, you might pay it off, you might not pay it off. But I know when I bought about 2009, a display home, which was what was the name? Oh, it was a display home from one of them companies, and there was 410,000, 4-bedroom house, ensuite, kitchen. Our houses now, with inflation, should have been keeping up with our wages. Should only be probably about 500,000, and even that's not keeping up with your wages. If you look back the last 20 years, you haven't had a decent pay rise. This happened all the way back. Another example happened back in the 70s. Same with houses. Houses were, well, they were overinflated back then, and they had to double everyone's wage to keep up with the house prices. And then house prices over the decades, and this is historical fact now, go back and have a look. Punch in house prices from the 1970s, the 1980s, 1990s, 2000s, and from 2010, and when we had that horrid, and that was enforced on us too, the COVID-19, it destroyed a lot of businesses. A lot of resorts and a lot of businesses went under because they didn't have the capital behind them to stay afloat. And that's where your Woolworths and Coles, big entities, and BHP, Rio Tinto, all started taking hold of our government, and then our government was selling public assets. And it's the principle of it, the principle of how dare our governments of the time, on those timelines, they shouldn't even been allowed to sell our public companies. Why didn't they put that back to a vote? because the general populace would have said no. Like this moronic imbecile with the voice. He wants to put the voice back to the people who have another vote. And that only an imbecile would do that. It's moronic. You know what we've done with those kind of people in the old days? We put them in the asylums. Thank God we don't do that anymore, because there was a lot of innocent people that were getting put away in there, and like our jails today, because we have creation. That's part of your rebirth, and we need to build from the foundations up again. And that's why I have that master number 22. It's the master builder. And then the 33 is the master teacher. And I put this out there nearly every program I do, because it's a must, that I refresh all your memories. Refreshing all your memories. So you can come on board, illuminating the path of righteousness and eliminating the unrighteous, which is all the bad and evil ones, okay, the critters and so forth. Now I'll do me number cards now, eh? We'll go into the angel number oracle cards. Quantum reflex. And there's a reason I'm sitting here in front of you now. Meaning and purpose, function, mission, the solar, white, wizard, Mayan, and the jaguar that prowls of a night time, hunting all these critters and creatures and monsters and demons. This is why I was an armed security officer, and I'd go on the prowl of a night time and make it nice and safe for you guys and protect it while you were sleeping. 95 will probably know, sorry, about 85 to 90% of the population was, while you were sleeping, I was out there hunting for all this evilness. And I didn't have much hassles at all, because I'm fully protected through our Creator and the universe. God and the universe works in mysterious ways, and He will protect those that has His grace and His favour. And once you know your authentic self, or for authenticity, you become aware. And when you become aware, you know how trapped you've been in this systematic evil program. So we get you out of that. We deprogram you. Reboot you. And refresh your memories. Once your memories come, and as I said, a lot of you have still got karmic debt out there. That karmic debt, you've got to start clearing that karmic debt. And you'll keep coming back until you get it right. I can see a lot of people out there not doing well. As I said, you know right from wrong. Start doing the right thing. And as I say, with your start doing the right thing and start reporting your bad colleagues doing the wrong thing. You might be stealing. You might be harming your fellow workers. There's a lot of things out there. You know what is right and what is wrong. And use your intuition and your instincts. And just your gut feeling. Your gut feeling tells you something. Friggin' 99%, if not 100% right. Okay, what do we have? 1441. Unique skills. Everyone has unique skills, don't we? Life goals, mission, sense of self, honesty, important projects. 1441. And go. If universe is communicating with you, number plate in front of you's got 222 on it. Look up what 222 means. All numbers have a meaning and a purpose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that's in sequence, isn't it? Synchronicities. It's that time of intense self-development. Focus your mind on your craft. You already have what it takes to succeed, because we are conquerors. But practice makes you a master. It also serves to find your true purpose. Leveling up to your career or business is of priority right now. And this is why 30 years ago, they all laughed at Pauline Hanson. Well, I guess nobody's laughing now because she was correct. And this is what happens to when you speak the golden truth. It just takes a while for the general populace to process things. And the new generation's coming back. That's why you reprogram them to get them out of this. It's a darkness. It's a darkness. Because this is where those critters, creatures and monsters and demons like to hang out, into the darkness. And this is why we have light over darkness. But yeah, you speak the golden truth. People come in, we get ridiculed, don't we? We get ridiculed. And then it becomes like disbelief, like for the general populace. And you're still getting ridiculed while the populace is going through the process of becoming who they truly are. And once they get into their true, authentic selves, they go, this person was speaking the truth all along, because you were in a trance, because they do their rituals, their dark evil rituals, and that puts you in some kind of trance, which you got to snap out of that trance. Because it's a great mass awakening, inevitable, unstoppable, irreversible, and it's unavoidable. But we get you out of that, and this is why everyone's snapping out of it now. And I'm happy and excited. I'm excited for humanity in general, because in humanity we have humility, okay, which is part of the process and part of your empathy, and having that empathy for your fellow human being, and snapping out of all this ignorance and arrogance, because they say that law, ignorance is no excuse to their fiction laws. Well, their ignorance and arrogance is no excuse for my rightful position through my biological, genetic and genealogy with the tree of life and the hierarchy of the regency of the blood lineage. Made those pseudo fiction laws through their fiction legals. And as I said, when we do policies, as we know, manufacturing, your factories, production, your fruit trees and all that, which is your farming, it all comes agriculture, produce, and then your meat industry, everything, and the meat industry's too Spanish. Boys, they've cornered the market too, with the meat industry worldwide now, which I only found out probably 12 months ago now. But it's a mafia. It's a mafia. That's what you've got to get rid of all that criminal, organised crime, gangsters, the critters, creatures, monsters and demons out of our lives once and for all. And this is why we go after them. You've got to rout them out and flush them out. And most of them will bring the attention on themselves anyway, because they're attention seekers. And wakeness. Get rid of the wakeness. No need to do all this. Well, indoctrinated. You're being indoctrinated way too much. And they do this the age of 5 up. And if you don't know, you don't know. And this is why I sit here as a mastery of everything. And it all aligns. I aligned up with all the planets, the stars, the whole galaxies, universe. We are a part of all that, all those forces, energy forces that work and at play, and with our Creator. As I say, I'm a messenger because I can do it. between heaven and earth, and you've got, as I said, and how much is this materialistic system breaking down now? I see mansions just walked out and left because that lineage and because this opulence and its extreme luxuries is all dissolving now because it means nothing. They used all this to have their say for status. That's why if a Mercedes pulled up beside you or a Rolls Royce in the 70s, it meant something. It meant something. Oh, look at this bloke, he's got money. Dissolving all that status becomes the status quo, doesn't it? Because we're all equal, and it won't matter what wealth through the new wealth order here. Something else I'll tell you too, but down here on the new wealth order, wealth means nothing. We have the spiritual, the spirituality, and it becomes higher. It becomes higher. And that's a hereditary or hierarchy too of this system we're in with the celestial beings. As we're as a human being. Okay, how many rebirths have you been here? Most of you don't even know. You don't even know who you are. I know who I am. It's as simple as that. Once you know who your authenticity self is, the blueprinted makeup from our Creator and the universe and going across galaxies and being in alignment with everything, mastery of everything, it's, as I say, very, very invigorating. What a beautiful word. And then it becomes very majestic, magnificent, and marvelous. Because the magnitude of everything is unbelievable. And start using your critical thinking out there. And as I say, I sit here and just wait. I just wait for yous all to catch up. Yous have all got to catch up to the frequencies. As I said, yous will fall through me security life. It's like, yep, driver's license, who are ya? What are you doing as a visitor? Well, yous are all visitors here on planet Earth, aren't yous? So you have high security, and this is why we had the codes of chivalry, the chivalric order. Oh, there's a lot happening, there's a lot going on. I can only tell you so much, but we've got the 4 7s now. And perseverance. Unique skills and perseverance. Okay, what I speak, and speech creates. Loving it and living it. Want help and assistance and support? Well, come and talk to me. You've got to reach out. Change of perspective. Reflection. Quantum reflex. Inner strength, wisdom, enlightenment. There's a need for a change of perspective on whatever has taken over you now. If you want to succeed, well, yeah, because we are conquerors. We're victorious. Everything we do. You need to keep going down the road you're on. Reach for the wisdom within, and then you'll just know what the right next step is. Beautiful. It's all beautiful. And yous are beautiful out there. Through me heart chakra, out to you guys with the unconditional divine love. Grab it. Okay? Embrace it. Acknowledge it. Accept it. Become aware. 555s, because we have clarity. I have heaps of clarity now. I do me thing, what I just do. Because that I am who I am. I know. all in the knowing. And if you're in the knowing and you get to know, well, that's all there is to know, isn't there? It's simple. As I say, I break things down to the most simplest forms and the basic forms for everybody. And this is what Pauline Hanson's doing now. And they might throw those complicated, or they're stupid. They're stupid questions because they're still using that stupid gibberish jargon. Like, what are your policies? Well, the policies are to let's rebuild Australia. It's pretty basic, isn't it? We rebuild Australia. Oh, but what are your policies? Well, didn't I just say that? To rebuild Australia. And then we put our factual legal beagles in there to draw things up. Executive orders, whatever. But then you've got to read the fine prints and everything. But our legal beagles will be the true ones, the factual ones that have followed me through this portal or time shift or, as I said, mysterious ways. Or just materialise in mysterious ways, but I know it's going to be majestic, marvellous and magnificent. So now we have clarity. We have clarity and coherence with the basic and simple forms. You aren't a victim of circumstance, rather you are the beneficiary of it. If that weren't the case, life would be pretty dull. You will set yourself up for success in the long run if you are willing to adapt to this shift. Adaptability. You're all capable of it, because I've never lost faith or hope in you guys. We're all a part of it. We're all connected and we're all together. Everything is working out for the best at long last. You're accomplishing what you set out to do. Everything will work out perfectly in the end. That's what you get in the golden truth breaks down. You say the golden truth. Pauline Hanson said it, I said it 30 years ago. And that systematic approach to our golden truth was to ridicule us. And you were lied to, and lied with that web of deception and illusions they put out there. And saying, no, they're liars, liars, liars. Well, let me tell you now, you guys and girls out there now know who the true liars are. And we've gone through a lot, but we're strong. We have strength. We have that universal and creator, favour and blessings and grace. And it doesn't get much better. And we just keep doing what we're doing. As I said, being ridiculed, people go into disbelief and, oh, is this true or is that? It's taken you 30 years to wake up. Wake up. And to wake up now, wake up. Abracadabra. And everyone watching me program now, as I reprogram everyone and put the golden truth out there, not only who I am, but what is happening now on Mother Goddess Gaia. Now, the celestial, terrestrial energies, many energies, supernatural energy, it's all forces and energies and so forth. And that's why it's a bit like, yes, Luke Skywalker, may the force be with you. That's all about to do with your energies and how you contain and control and centre those energies. And you've got to ground yourself. A lot of powers have been, a lot of powers that I haven't even tapped into yet. As I say, gradual process. It's been 30 years waking you guys and girls up to where we are now. And you're all starting to see the light now, the golden truth with the golden light. With Pauline Hanson, you're all stepping over and crossing over. And now, why hasn't Angus Young even picked up the phone and spoke to Pauline? A bit of stubbornness there, maybe self-pride, or just the ignorance and arrogance again. And that's on Angus. Angus is a strong name, Angus. Pick up the phone, cast your ego aside, and pick up the phone and start supporting each other. It's time, in the linear time, for you to pick up that phone, Angus, and make that call. As I said, cast your egos aside. And this is why we all band together now and bond together in unity as Australians, because Australians for Australians. The outsiders, if you don't want to mix in and assimilate with Australians, it's time to pack your bags and go. If you don't want to be here and with peace and harmony, harmonising with everyone, well, go. We don't want you here. And start speaking English. If you go to a country, if I went to Japan, I'd learn Japanese. If I went to an Arabic country, I'd learn Arabic. Because I'm sitting here now and been here, my foot or my soul and spirit has been in Australia now since the first fleeters. And plus, we're forced here, but it's all about adaptability, and you'll shall overcome any obstacle or any hurdles in your way, because it's all about your resilience and perseverance, right? Unique skills you have, as we had with the Huguenots, and all those countries where the Huguenots went, all those countries prospered because we had the wisdom, sacred wisdom and sacred knowledge. And this is all in historical facts. You get rid of your intelligence and your main players, the country will die. It will start decaying. And that's what happened to France when they got rid of all the Huguenots, which was all the wisdom and knowledge. Sacred. But they soon have an unfortunate death, don't they? What have we got? Wheel of Fortune. What's he say to everybody now on my channel? I speak the golden truth, illuminating the path of righteousness for everybody to jump on board. It's never too late to change. You can see who is before you now. If you've been searching and seeking, yes, you have found me. You have found me because I am who I am. And I'm here to help, assist and support you guys. Okay? Direct flow of sacred wisdom and sacred knowledge. The Wheel of Fortune. Crystallization. 4 sevens. 7 7 7 7. Perseverance. Yes, we've been ridiculed. Yes, we've been laughed at. Yes, they've thrown everything in their evil book of deceptions at us and at you guys and girls, but yous have woken up now. Yous have woken up to their lies and their deceptions. And it's a good thing. It's for the greater good. For the greater good. As I say, the negative naysayers and just general toxic people are dissolving and decaying because they're not keeping up with our higher in the energy grid. They're staying at the lower frequencies. That's why they're still casting out or trying to cast out that activity. You've got 1,000 people online and they're all thinking the same thing, and there's this one evil entity puts a message there and goes, Pauline is racist. They don't even know what racist is. It's just a word. It's just a word that they're trying to use to divide again. You guys see it now. Racism. I've had friends all over the world and acquaintances and allies and allegiances all over the world, and we've all gone on. Doesn't matter who we are. As I said, we're all human beings. If you get past all this other stuff they put before you to try and divide you since the 14th century, 15th century up with all their forgeries, Habsburg's forgeries. Twice it's been blown open. I'm blowing it open for the third time. Nothing changed the second time. All they did was went into our governments and so forth, or formed governments they're still controlling you guys. And you know most of those families now that are controlling that 1% of the wealth. This has all been woken up to that, and the 12 families, is it? I believe there's more. There's surnames there that we don't even know yet, because they're hiding. They're the main, well, that's the master puppeteer, isn't it? We don't know about that family yet. We have a rough idea, but they hide, because they're cowards, they're gutless. Most of them show themselves because most of them love attention seekers. They're attention seekers. So they put the attention on themselves, so it's easy for us to rout them out and flush them out. The magician, alchemical force. I'm using all my alchemy to flow out as the 11, 22 and 33 frequencies, pulling in much energy to reveal what has been concealed to the masses. So all that hidden, good, bad and ugly stuff is being revealed now. It's revelations. It's all being revealed to the masses. And this is why I'm saying you've got to cope with it and deal with it to the best of your abilities with your capabilities. And it's all about, yes, adaptabilities. Adapting and moving with, well, the flow of energy, but moving with the transformation. And you just go with the flow. And this is why all those toxic ones are trying to stop from happening, but it's unstoppable. It's unstoppable. They'll be routed out. They'll be routed out and flushed out and dealt with. Because we have the hangman. The hangman. Yes, with the magician. Alchemical force. Intent, pulse, receptivity, and enchanting. Reprogramming. Re-educating. Sitting where we're supposed to be. Six of Wands, see? Six of Wands again. And then we have Justice, because you got to be a great judgment of character, which I've always had a great gift of being judgment of character. Now the Wheel of Fortune, because we have much perseverance and resilience now. We've got over all that ridicule stuff and being laughed at and so forth. Well, now the tide is changing, isn't it? The shoe is on the other foot now. Wheel of Fortune, related to luck, influenced by changing external circumstances. The Wheel of Fortune, Sagittarius, Jupiter. The appearance of the Wheel of Fortune is an opportunity to accept the flow of events and trust in the process. We are conquerors. To have a new opportunity, a lucky beginning, a better situation, and the coming of the God of luck. The God of luck. Wheel of Fortune with the magician. And it's the greatest mass awakening. Unstoppable, inevitable, irreversible, unavoidable. Loving it and living it. And awake you are. Rise and shine. Abracadabra. Oh, the hangman. The hangman. I guess that's self-explanatory too, isn't it? What's going to happen to this evilness. And as I say, not all. It's only some that are evil and have crossed, well, they've gone astray. The ones that have gone astray and caved into the devil's temptations. But there's a lot of rogue demons out there. Rogue demons. And this is why Lucifer's up here to drag those rogue demons back with him. The hangman. Okay, devotion, contentment with the status quo. The status quo. And sacrifice your ego. Get rid of the ego. And any ignorance and arrogance that's toxic, cast it all out. Cast it out. And as I am, well, messenger, with the master number 11, illuminating the path of righteousness, everybody to jump on board and embrace and accept and become aware on the path of righteousness. And then we eliminate the unrighteousness. The hangman indicates a lack of independent action, waiting for delays or bottlenecks. No more delaying. We take bold action with bold moves because we're full of boldness. It also, and we are conquerors, also represents a willingness to sacrifice emotionally without expecting anything in return. Cast out the ego and embrace all those natural currents flowing throughout the airwaves. Tune into it, frequencies, and the golden light flowing in your golden crown, your crown chakra, and let the unconditional love flow out to each and every one of you from your heart chakra. As I said, all your chakras now should be fully aligned with the universe and back to the source. So they should be reciprocating and transmitting and receiving. And you've sacrificed a lot in your life anyway. Once you get into back to the source, there's nothing for us to sacrifice anymore because it's all gone. All your toxicity's gone. Okay, all the positive energy flows in, and the royal star Antares grants us a gift, an energy from that royal star to reveal everything that's been hidden. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And as I say, and as I inform the masses, no more surprises. One Nation will climb up to 80%. Mark my words, because speech creates. And she's on 31% now. Once all liberals are going over. I do dare say I think there was a liberal person that distracted over to One Nation down in Melbourne, and there's going to be many, many more Liberal and Labor coming over the One Nation, because they will, as I said, they've been in the systematic thing through going into young Liberal and young Labor, and they have been brainwashed from the system and organisations of the Liberal and Labor and through the lobby groups. They've stolen heaps. They've stolen heaps of wealth off the masses. And what has been stolen shall be returned. The writing's on the wall and the jig is up for them. And this is what I was going to say too. When it's all in front of your eyes, when you adjust yourself and recalibrate yourself and you come up into your awakening, which can be frightening or uplifting or just invigorating, it's magnificent, majestic and marvellous how it all works, because it's very mysterious, but it works, and I trust in that process, and you trust in that process too, because it's an alignment, and then you see all the lies and deception, and this is why more and more are coming over the One Nation, because she's just speaking the golden truth. There is no bull dust, and there's no superficial or artificial or fiction how Pauline Hanson is saying it. And she's dealing with reality as we know it, and she is the real deal as I are the real deal. And this is why we've got that energy flow. God's favour and God's grace. Six of Wands represents a person who has achieved success because of his own hard work and strong desire. Strong desire. Can you not see that? Strong desire, which is enjoying the joy of success and has started to have some followers. Mega followers, because we have justice with a capital J, because we are conquerors. We are conquerors. And there is, you know how to separation too. Separation. And this is why I left this. It was still there. It's always going to be there. But the masses are not up to my frequencies. So I have to leave this behind to be a candidate until the masses start. And it's happening because synchronicities and speech creates. And everything I've been saying now in my past programs is catching up to our reality and our realm. Because the Emperor sits in his own reality in his own realm. And this is why you guys don't see that yet, because you aren't up to my frequency. But if you do your research and go, he's got the personality number 1, it's natural born leadership. And my heart desire is number 1. Everything, my blueprint authenticity has been produced, well, majestically through our Creator and our universe. And as God and the universe works in mysterious ways. But one thing I know for sure, I am who I am. Once you all catch up to this frequency, it's going to be fine. As I said, it's going to be marvellous. Justice with a capital J. Because I put alchemical force out there. The greatest mass awakening. Unstoppable. Inevitable. Wheel of fortune. Unavoidable. Awake, rise and shine. Abracadabra. Because we have, and we always have, resilience and perseverance. And a strong desire. And it's all natural. Nature will naturally correct itself. And which is happening at this very moment, because the magician, justice, with a capital J, what I'm all about, that's with me shells in me coat of arms. And the wheel of fortune, hangman springs up again. We sacrifice nothing, we've done enough sacrificing. This evilness will be the sacrifice. And as we giddy up, and that fire horse is unleashed. And the unleashed fire horse is doing her thing too. She's doing revealing too. A lot of revelations. This is what we hear about. And you knew the day was coming, and the day's here. The day is here. We are the future. And without your ancestors, you wouldn't even be here. So lighten up, get with the program, jump on the path of illuminating the path of righteousness, jump on board, never too late to change, start reporting your bad colleagues, and we'll start cleaning up the mess. We already cleaned up the mess now, as you can see. And there's also a few toxic people out there still trying to do their little gyration, but it's not working. They failed. Multiculturalism failed. All these little gimmicks and illegal things they've been doing in the fiction world, their fiction, is backfiring on them. Sorry, I didn't do the chakras, but I'll do them now. Okay, so Sahishira, the crown chakra. I know, I see, which is Ina or Aina, the third eye chakra, your third eye. I speak. Vishuddha, the throat chakra. I feel. Hidhata, the heart chakra. I can, which is Mena Pure, the solar plexus chakra. I feel Swadhisha Thana, the sacral chakra, and I have, which is Muladhara, the root chakra. Beautiful, beautiful. Everything's beautiful. Everything's going according to God's plan, God's kingdom, God's glory. Trust in the process. Always trust in the process. And everything's going, well, as I said, trust in the process. Everything's going to plan. There's no hold-ups now. There's no hurdles or hiccups or obstacles. It's all a happening thing because I'm, as you all know now, with the master number 22, the master builder, I'm capable of big things happening. Used to be a saying too, remember the fig jam? If I'm good, just ask me. That was going around too back in the time. I don't know if you know that one now, because a lot of things, as I said, transformation, every generation, they've got that now, trending. Remember the plank? We had the plank. I used to just call them trendsetters. They were trendsetters in there, on their timeline there. You've got this lady where you're stiff as a board, and you just fall over onto a mattress. Don't hurt yourselves out there, but that's a new trend at the moment. She's got 350 million followers. See, if I was in the right polarities, if I was right there, as I said, it's not all about popularity, is it? It's not all about popularity, because it's like a pop, isn't it? Oh, pop up here, pop up there, and then you got your larity, which is like your polarities, isn't it? Polarities. That's the way I look at it. The simplest terms and the simplest solutions to things and to resolving things. But things can be complicated out there. I know things are complicated out there, but as I say, you put your trust in the process. I'm here to do a job. That's my mission, my focus, and my function, to help and assist you guys out there. And support. And self-harm. Please don't do any self-harming. You've got to be comfortable within your body and within your spiritual side. That's why you're being moulded into something you aren't. And this is why you're self-harming, because you haven't done it. It's the systematic, the evil systematic programs that they've done to you. It's got to be your natural gifted selves, and that is your male and female. And then they try and indoctrinate you with other stuff. And you just don't know if you've been indoctrinated by the age of 5, saying, oh, it's great to have sex with the same sex. That's not right. You're being brainwashed. And that is bad, indoctrinated. So this is why we've got to reprogram you. And it's hard for us to reprogram you when you've already been programmed. We've got to start from, scratch up, the foundations up again. But I do know for sure, when the foundations come up again, we re-educate, and it's not a matter of educating. We educated the 5-year-olds properly, the right way, the correct way, through the proper teachings. This is why I'm here as the master teacher, 33. Okay, all behave out there. Take care, stay safe. Up into that one, geez. Great chatting with you. This linear time goes like that, doesn't it? Very, very fast, because I believe now it's going fast anyway. We're up in the middle of the year, going into July. Did I say it was the 23rd of June, 2026? I did say the time was 11:22 and 33 seconds, did I not? Okay, everyone up in the higher frequencies and higher vibrations, leave all this scum and parasites, vultures and hyenas and all those bad, evil entities leave them in the lower frequencies, and they won't harm you anymore, because we're in the higher vibrations and higher frequencies. And 11 and 11 is 22, the master builder, and then 2211 is 33, the master teacher and the mastery of everything, and the art and the act of the triangle of enlightenment. And as I illuminating the path of righteousness out there, everyone that climb on board and become aware and awoken to this evilness, and seeing is believing with your own eyes, and it's never too late to change and start reporting all the bad ones by my command. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen. 4-T, transmitting, casting out, transmuting, transcendence, and receiving, pursuit in the sanctuary of the golden truth. Amen. Bye for now.